We did it. We're having a minute, just a little minute of connection. So this is the sprint, and if you're in this group, this is your first time. Even if it's not your first time, I'm going to go through soup to nuts. This is what we do for the sprint. One of the things that you need to do is get set up with your sprouts. I'm going to show you how to do that. And two is make your bone broth. Now, people are asking me, and they always do, can I just buy it? Yes, you can just buy it. You're going to get optimal mileage out of it, though, if you make it yourself. And it's super cheap, super inexpensive, and my strong suggestion is you make it. It is easy to make. Now, the other thing, a lot of people are asking me for a recipe. And I'm going to show you how to make this. And I want you to be able to intuitively just move into the kitchen, get out your Instant Pot, get out your crock pot, and go boom, 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 and we are done, and you have made your wonderful bone broth. It doesn't have to be a lot of measurements, you guys. You just need to, the only thing you need to pay attention to is your water line. And if you're using an Instant Pot, it has a max water line. Just respect that, and we're good to go. Okay, so first things first, let me show you. I have a bag of magically delicious chicken feet. Yes, they are not the most beautiful looking things in the world. I'm going to put that in first into the bottom of my pan. All the little feet go in. And for you squeamish folk, I'm sorry, but you kind of get used to it, and suddenly it's like you have a sincere appreciation for these little guys. Yeah, that's it. I just showed you the chicken feet, chicken paws. So that's about 2 pounds of chicken feet. And then what this is a bag that I also keep in the freezer of some roasted chicken bones. All that does is add all that flavor. And the chicken bones, that's from a whole chicken. It's the breastbone and I mean all the bones. Yeah, so you put that in. Then you're going to add your onion, whole onion. Did you see how I didn't chop it? You got a whole head of garlic. It's just washed. Yeah, I just cut the end off because it's kind of dirty. Whole carrots, whole celery. Everything's washed and ready to rock and roll. Now, you can add fresh cracked pepper or you can add peppercorns. Remember, and I've also had a lot of people ask me, Mark's saying more, because he always makes this, not me. So, and that's probably close to like a half tablespoon of black peppercorns. Fresh ground pepper or peppercorns. Don't use that yucky stuff in the can. That stuff's nasty. Some salt, and again, I'm going to put it in my hand. That's probably 2 teaspoons of salt right there. I've got fresh herbs. Now, these are the little clamshells that I was talking about in the thing. So you want half of that. So for this is rosemary, fresh rosemary. I've got 2 good stalks. That's enough. And they didn't have any thyme at the store, so we're going with oregano this time. And I'm going to do half of that. And that goes in. And what else am I missing? I'm missing the vinegar. The vinegar, and you want apple cider vinegar, any brand will do. This one is Great Value, organic, Great Value, but it has the mother in it. So, and you'll know the mother because it's on the bottom and it looks all cloudy and weird. That's probably a good tablespoon right there. And then we're going to add the rest of the water right up to the fill line. Done. See how easy that is? That's it. You just put the thingy on. And there you go. And it's not plugged in. I'll do it in a minute. Now walk down with me. We're walking. We're walking. Now, remember how I told you about the broccoli sprouts? Now, the broccoli sprouts, the reason that we do broccoli sprouts in the sprint is because of the high nutrient value. Most of us are overfed and undernourished, and we're trying to fix some of that and also get rid of the inflammation. There's sulforaphane, which is the cancer-fighting property that's in all cruciferous vegetables, is 10 times that in the broccoli sprouts as it is in the mature broccoli. So that's one of the reasons that we use these. They're just really amazing. And the theory goes, and I really believe that this is a true thing, it has not been 100% proven by the science, but cravings diminish, the need to be constantly eating diminishes, and the satisfaction in a meal happens when you start to get your nutrient levels back up. And a lot of us are just really, sadly, need more nutrients. So these little trays I bought at, well actually I didn't buy it, Marla bought them for me. She got them on Amazon because she gets everything on Amazon. And I just wanted to give kind of a close-up, if we could, on these. This is tray number 1, tray number 2, and tray number 3. I just soaked them, started yesterday soaking them, or the day before soaking them. So this is the second day. And you can see the little greens are already starting to pop up. Every day in the morning when I'm making my coffee, I will rinse them, give them a rinse, let them sit out and get, drain, and they have an automatic draining system in there. And I will have 3 full trays of sprouts here in just about a week, in less than a week. So I will have them just in time for the sprint. So that's pretty cool. I also have a surprise to show you, but you'll see. People are asking me also about cravings, and I understand cravings are like a huge deal. There are ways that we can combat cravings. Now, I can't get anything to you by the start of Monday, but if you order today, some of these we have all of these things, I think most of them in stock anyway. We have most of these things in stock, and these are things that will really help you out, okay? So, first things first. One of my favorite go-tos is L-glutamine. L-glutamine is an amino acid that cuts cravings at the knees. It doesn't matter what you're craving, even if it's a cigarette or heroin. Whatever it is, it's that same pleasure center in the brain, and it helps to diminish that light up area where we have those cravings, where we have those addictions. You simply take the L-glutamine, you wet your finger like this, put it on your teeth, your gums, your tongue, and I'm telling you, it immediately takes that craving out. I've got women walking around with baggies of that in their purse, hoping they don't get pulled over by the cops because they'll be taken in for drugs. But honestly, it's one of the best things you can get for cravings. There's 85 servings in L-glutamine. 85. It's made with a good source, fermented beets, not from duck feathers, not from human hair, like some of them are. And sorry, but that's just the God's awful truth, isn't it? Yeah, so there it is. The other thing is, Marla was mentioning today when she was on her show doing her Q&A, people were asking about her collagen shots. And I just wanted to show you what a collagen shot looks like, okay? It's just like a 2-ounce thing, and you mix it up with Perfect Paleo Protein. She used hot milk mix, which I think we're out of right now, aren't we? Yeah, we have more on the way, but it's just out. But hot milk mix, and you fiber mender, which this is like a prebiotic, and it swells to 200 times its size, so it keeps you nice and full. It also, like I said, prebiotic. It helps to lower your blood sugar levels, and it's heart healthy. So I mean, you get a lot of bang for your buck out of this thing. And it has, I guess I don't have it. It looks super tiny. It is, but it has a super tiny little itty bitty scoop too. So it lasts for a little while as well. Just Juice Veggies. It's a good thing for if you're doing the Target Trifecta smoothie. This gives you 5 to 7 servings of fruit and vegetables. This is something I think every mother should have in their cupboard for their kids. Hot milk mix. A couple of other things. If you have no gallbladder, and you've had digestive problems, you feel like every time you eat, you've got food just in the bottom of your stomach like a brick. It's not because you have a lack of stomach. It's not because you have too much stomach acid, especially if you get acid reflux, GERD, heartburn, whatever. It's because you have a lack of stomach acid. As we get older, we lose it. We lose our stomach acid. And it just seems to come up just simply because there's a push going up. Digestive enzymes makes all the difference in the world. And I carry these. You've got, what, questions? Okay, what?
Do you ever use the bones more than once for your batch?
One time. Chicken bones you use once. Beef bones you can use more than once, is the old saw, but we shall see, on that. So digestive enzymes I told you about, that's really important because you don't want to be having gallbladder pain. If you've ever had that, that's nowhere to go. And then these two things are massive. Leptofix helps to fix your broken leptin. As you lose weight, our leptin breaks. And I hate to say that because that's that's the kingpin on the hunger hormone, and it regulates your appetite. So that's why when you go on a diet and you're thinking, why am I hungry all the time? Well, it's because your leptin's is kind of broken, because your leptin lives in your fat. But if we can fix it, and we can, then you're in good stead. I take this every single morning on an empty stomach before my coffee. And then the Crave Crusher works right alongside with it because it optimizes dopamine, serotonin, and helps you feel good. And that works together with the leptin because they're one big hormonal happy family, aren't they? And that's what this whole thing does. Last one, Beauty Support. Beauty Support works with the collagen, and it makes the collagen hang on. It's basically makes it hang on, and it's just done wonders for my hair and skin. I've been really pleased with it. What other question do you have? Any others? Anybody else have another question? Come on, you know you do. How many people are there?
35. 34.
Oh. So there's 35 people and no questions. Come on, you guys. Oh, okay, one other thing too that somebody was asking me about probiotics. We don't have to get lean right now, but it's coming. But probiotics, this is Proactive Probiotic. When you're putting 4 billion CFUs into your body, that's going to help to combat leaky gut, always being hungry, that's the other thing, and it helps to balance out your gut flora. If you have a healthy microbiome, you're going to be able to lose weight a lot easier. So that's another good thing. You ready for the big surprise, the big reveal? Look, guys. You see that? Our tea came in. Our body clutter tea. This is Wise Women's Tea. And Marla has some at her house. And I don't know, maybe she's going to be doing it for tea time today. But it just came in, and it will be for sale probably by next week. But we're really excited about it. It's just, you should smell this stuff. It's just glorious. And you can see the bags are a little bit green. That's from the green tea and the bergamot. And the bergamot is just fabulous. So just wait, it's going to be great. What was the other question?
Somebody missed it earlier. Want to know if you roast your garlic?
Oh, I have, but not for my bone broth. So here's the thing that I do, like if I'm making a beef bone broth, and quite honestly, I much prefer a chicken bone broth. Marla really likes the beef bone broth, but I like the chicken bone broth. Beef bone broth can have a kind of a headier flavor, and it also needs to, in my opinion, you need to roast the bones first. So if you roast the garlic and the onions and the celery and the bones and all the stuff together, and then just throw it all into your pot, and make sure that you get all the scrapings off the bottom of your roasting pan as well, and put that into your pot, because that's where all that flavor goes, and you're gonna make a much better bone broth. Yeah.
Asking what is the other one for digestion?
The Digeszymes? Is that it? Digeszymes. Digeszymes, basically what this is, has several different types of digestive, there's pepsin, betaine, etc. in there. And understand that what this does is it helps us as we go through the whole digestive process. It supports our digestion, and it gives us more digestive bang for the buck. Because what happens, if you've ever had a steak and it's just sat on the bottom of your belly and you're just thinking, oh man, that was a big mistake. The problem isn't the steak, the problem is your digestive capabilities. And again, after 35, our digestion gets just less enzymes every single year. There's this thing called peristalsis, and that's just the involuntary muscle groups moving the food all the way down into where it finally gets into the small intestine, where it extrapolates all your vitamins basically, and all the minerals and everything that you need. Well, as the peristalsis releases more enzymes as you go. It starts in your mouth and it works all the way down. If you're not releasing all those enzymes, and if you don't chew your food well enough and eat too fast, that's my problem. That's also going to be a problem. But you don't get exactly what it is that you need, and then your body is, especially if you have a leaky gut, which most of us do because of stress and eating wrong and not getting enough sleep, and all of that adds into leaky gut. And so what happens is then the little molecules of food are leaching into your body cavity, and that's alerting your body that, hey, we've got an intruder. And so they send out the Pac-Man, to go get it, and your immune system is fired up. And that's where the chronic inflammation comes from. So if we have digestive enzymes and we're able to start the digestive process, it'll be sitting there down in our stomach waiting for that state to come. You take like 2 of them 15 minutes before you eat with a full glass of water, and it is a miracle. I make, Marla does them, she takes them with her meals, and it really helps people who don't have a gallbladder. And I've had coaching clients before who've taken them and got rid of dumping syndrome altogether, but not everybody. It just really depends on where you are. But if you don't have a gallbladder and you've had dumping syndrome before, you know how uncomfortable it is, and you have to be like really close to a bathroom. So that's really critical. And digestives can kind of change everything for you. It's a really big thing, needle mover.
Which supplements are capsules versus powders?
Okay, so we have capsules. Anything in these jars are capsules. This is a powder. Obviously, this is a capsule. This is the L-glutamine. I really like it in the powder form. You can add it to your smoothie. So it not only is it going to kill your cravings, but it's also going to help to heal your gut. You have these little junctures that are in your that line your intestinal tract, and they're thin. It's very, very thin. And then you have this little cilia and these little kind of wavy thingies that go through there, and there's little breaches all over the place. This helps to seal it up. All it is an amino acid, but it's really a miraculous amino acid, and it does a lot of work. So it's going to cut the cravings, and it's going to last for 85 servings, and I'll show you what the scoop looks like. Everybody loves this stuff, though. Committed. See? There's your scoop. So it's, like I said, 85 servings in this whole gigantic thing. And you can take some. This is what usually sits on my desk, in case I have a craving and I was just, nope, not going to do that. So it sits on my desk, and people put it in baggies or a little Tupperware thing or whatever and carry it in their purses with them. So you can fight those craving demons, because they're out there in full force. They want you, and you want to fight them. What else?
Somebody's asking again about using bones more than once. You must have come in late.
Yeah. Beef bones more than once. You can do twice. Chicken bones need to get tossed. They're pretty much trashed after that. And that's what the vinegar is about. The vinegar pulls all of those nutrients out of the bones. Somebody was asking me earlier in the sprint group, they were asking about what do I need to know about what's the difference between stock and bone broth. And really, there's not that much of a difference. It's the same kind of a process, except with bone broth, you're going to be cooking it a lot longer and adding the vinegar, because one of your goals is to get the nutrients out of the bone. We do this as people too. All skeletal creatures. That's where we store our minerals. Calcium for the bone. You know about that. Well, there's also collagen in the bone. There's actually more collagen in your bones than there is calcium, and we get the calcium and the collagen, the glycine, all of these things, magnesium, manganese, all of these nutrients are all available to us. They're all in the soup. And you can tell when the soup gels, when the bone broth gels, you've got a really nice one. I've got one. Watch. I'm out of frame. I'm going to show you. So this is what we usually keep our bone broth in. And you can see how gelatinous it is. This is our leftover. But I'm going to bring it up. You can see how jelly-like it is. And sometimes, so this batch isn't as gelatinous as our last, but it's a crapshoot sometimes. You really never know what's going to do it this time. And also, this one was frozen because we went when we left for the holidays and we were gone for a few days. We had a little bit left, so we threw it in the freezer. So this is defrosted. So.
What do you do with your sprouts when they're overgrown?
Oh, I eat them. They don't get overgrown. I want them them to get to about yay high, and it doesn't take very long at all to get that, you know, it's just as high as the container. And I also shift those, the tower, I shift the tower as it goes. So I find that the ones on the bottom seem to sprout a little bit faster. And so the one on the bottom is now going to go on top, and I just kind of move them around each time. And I'm not like, you know, pedantic about it or anything like that, but I just make sure that I kind of keep them moving. And the one that's showing the most sprouts is going to be the one that's on top, and the one that's less sprouty is going to be on the bottom. But that's how you make, you know, people are saying to me, oh, I'm not a gardener, I can't make them. You can if you do it this method, because I'm not a gardener either. But these, I'm a farmer. I'm a full farmer with these broccoli sprouts.
Ingredients of the new tea.
Oh, so it is green tea, black tea, and a little bergamot, and it's all organic. And you know what bergamot is it's basically in the citrus family, and it is what makes Earl Grey tea so special. But this is like no Earl Grey tea you've ever had. This is a special custom blend that Marla and I came up with. And they knocked it out of the park for us, and nobody has this, just us. We're the only ones with this. And you get 100 bags in this. So it's gonna last a good long while. And it is really lovely. I can't wait. I'm gonna have some soon. Anything else?
Wants to do the sprint, finding it hard because of family commitments. None of my family would eat it because they're so fussy. It'd be too much stopping and cooking.
Okay. Maybe next time. I'm not going to talk anybody into doing it. You know, when you have your reasons why you can't, and you have your reasons why you can. And my thing is like choose a path. You know, choose what you want to do. All of our recipes, if you look through the Sprint document and you can see the dinner recipes that are in there, you've got the hot melt salmon, you've got hot melt meatloaf, all of those you can make up for the family. Give them baked potatoes with it, and then you have the rest of what you need with it. So your soup and your salad are going to be a separate thing. You don't have to give it to them, and they can be fussy or whatever. And you don't even have to use our recipes for that. Let's say you have a pot roast that everybody raves about. Fine, give them pot. You have pot roast and have your soup and have your salad, because the whole thing is set up to be extraordinarily easy to prepare and to do in advance, and not too disruptive. So you don't have to make your kids and family eat the soup or the salad, but you can make it up for yourself, and then make your normal recipes as long as they're protein heavy and not like, you know, lasagna and stuff. But you just need to have your proteins with it. It's doable, and we've had thousands of people go through this, and they were able to do it. So I hope you can look at it with different eyes and see that there is a way that you could do this. What else? Anything else? All right. Are you guys good? If you have any other questions, like, you know, what do I do? How do I do this? Just put them here on the comments on this video, and I'll come back and answer them. But it's time to get ready. Get your bone broth ready. Get your sprouts going, and let's have a great sprint. It's our first one of 2020. I want you to hit it out of the park, and you can when you're prepared. So plan it, buy for it, and let's do it. Monday we start. Peace.